Welcome to Rising Oaks Early Learning Ontario members, parents, staff, and guests. We thank you so very much for taking the time to be here with us this evening.
One of the fundamental responsibilities of the board is to set the strategic direction for the company. As we move through 2024, we reach the third year of our current strategic plan. This graphic recording represents our strategic plan. The book with the tree in the bottom right serves as a reminder of our mission, vision, and values, our guiding principles in everything that we do. The strategic priorities come to life like a story unfolding from these pages. Starting from the top left, our first strategic priority is to influence system planning. We remain committed to shaping the rollout of the $10 a day universal childcare system while also advocating for local expansion frameworks that support its success. Moving to the right, our second priority is to enable sustainable growth. The emphasis on sustainability was a key focus for our team, ensuring that any expansion of Rising Oaks Early Learning maintains high-quality programming, strong staffing, and solid leadership. Within this priority, we focus on three key goals: plan, build capacity, and expand. The third priority, ensuring a flourishing team, remains foundational to everything else. While workforce development may not always be seen as a strategic priority, in a time of significant change in our sector, it is absolutely essential. Here we have three critical goals: cultivate a workplace culture of well-being, advance professional pay and decent work for our employees, promote an understanding and practice of our learn how to learn approach. We also see diversity, equity, and inclusion embedded within the leaves of our growing system, reinforcing them as core principles that strengthen our entire plan and ensure a sense of belonging for all. The strategic plan was created with resilience, sustainability, and flexibility in mind, ensuring that as we move forward, we can continue to adapt and thrive. While the board is responsible for setting the strategic direction, it is through the leadership and our CEO and her team that these priorities come to life. The strategic plan provides the framework, but it is the daily efforts of our educators, our leaders, and staff that drive real impact for children, families, and the broader community. With that in mind, I'd like to turn things over to our CEO, Lori Prospero, who will share insights on how the strategy has translated into action over the past year and provide key operational updates. Lori, over to you.
Thanks, Julia. As we reflect on 2024, I'm immensely proud of the progress we've made in advancing our strategic priorities. Our commitment to high-quality early learning and childcare remains unwavering. And this year, we have taken significant strides in influencing system planning, enabling sustainable growth within an expanding system, and to ensure a flourishing team. Related to system planning, a core focus of our work has been ensuring that the early learning and childcare, or ELCC, policies and funding structures support the needs of children, families, and educators. In pursuit of this goal, we engaged in meaningful advocacy efforts at both provincial and federal levels. Notably, we met with the ELCC Secretariat and Lean Modernization Unit to inform critical technology upgrades and provided feedback to the Assistant Deputy Minister on challenges with the new funding formula, programs operating under the Canada-wide Early Learning and Childcare Program, CWELC for short. In the spring, we hosted an MPP roundtable to provide an opportunity for parents, educators, and operators to come together to share their stories and hopes for the future with local representatives. This sharing of stories is key to the future development of a national $10 a day childcare system. CWELC is still in its infancy, so we have a real opportunity to help shape and build the systems and funding model that we need to ensure that every child has access to a high-quality early learning and care program with educators who are responsive, caring, passionate about their work, because they're supported to be their best selves as educators. To that end, we celebrated a major milestone in workforce advocacy Our discussions with the Commissioner for Employers under Employment and Social Development Canada was a stepping stone to secure the addition of early childhood educators to Canada's express entry system for skilled workers, a crucial step in addressing workforce shortages. Our joint advocacy efforts with sector partners, participation in Ontario's budget consultations, and hosting of key stakeholders such as Federal Minister of Families, Children and Social Development amplify our role as a trusted voice in the early learning and childcare system. As part of our advocacy work, our leadership team are involved with many organizations that align with our values and government relations goals. Our work together is about connection, collaboration, and collective action on behalf of children and families, and also on behalf of educators and other staff who are essential to providing a high-quality early learning experience. This nonpartisan work ensures that Rising Oaks Early Learning is invited to provide feedback directly to government on things like budget, regulatory changes, and the upcoming or the brand new funding formula for the Canada-wide program.
I'd also like to take the moment to highlight and recognize employees who will be receiving long service awards for work anniversaries celebrated in 2024. We'll celebrate their anniversaries with Rising Oaks, and each will receive a gift to commemorate these milestones. As I highlight these individuals, please feel free to share your appreciation in the chat, which is now open. Receiving their 5-year service award are Fatima from Lincoln, Vanessa from St. Luke, Aisha from St. Matthew, Bailey from St. Nicholas, Samantha from St. Bridget, Krista Ann from St. John Paul, Sherry from Our Lady of Fatima, Chase and Sierra from John Sweeney, and Jessica, Lisa, and Aaron from Oak Creek. Celebrating 10 years of service are Stephanie, Kiva, and Sarah from St. Bridget, Velvet, Simone, and Emily from John Sweeney, and Josephine from St. Matthew. Only one employee celebrated 20 years of service in 2024, and that's Janice from Our Lady of Fatima. Celebrating 25 years of service are Rockmani from St. Matthew, along with Connie, Jennifer, and Tammy from St. John Paul. Celebrating 30 years of service is Lisa from Our Lady of Fatima. Celebrating 35 years of service, we have Denise from Lincoln Road. And finally, celebrating an amazing 40 years of service is Joanne from John Sweeney. Jo was the first employee to reach 40 years of service. She's been here almost since the beginning. And to mark this milestone, we received letters from the Prime Minister and along with other provincial, territorial, and regional governments. Congratulations to all of our long service award recipients. Thank you, Julia. I'm pleased to be here with Vanessa as the newly appointed co-chairs of this committee. Here at Rising Oaks Early Learning, we believe that diversity plus equity plus inclusion equal belonging. Belonging is the foundation of a high-quality early learning and childcare program for the children and families, but also for the team of educators and staff. In the fall, we moved on to phase 2, the development of our DEIB action plan. And through 4 planning sessions, we co-created 4 DEIB priorities, 9 goals, and 23 actions to help guide the organization. This plan was presented to the Board of Directors by Lori and Kayla in January, and we are pleased to share it with Rising Oaks members, families, and staff here tonight. We believe that the 4 DEIB priorities will support Rising Oaks in achieving its mission and creating that sense of belonging. The priorities are to weave DEIB into the fabric of Rising Oaks, to enhance the sense of belonging so that many identities and their intersections of each Rising Oaks community member can be seen and valued. To enhance organizational learning related to DEIB, to develop and strengthen clear communication channels, both internal and external, regarding Rising Oaks DEIB activities and achievements throughout the Rising Oaks community and within the early learning and childcare sector.
Welcome, everyone. The audited financial statements for the period ending December 31st, 2024 were posted to our website on March 19th in accordance with the bylaws. A link was included in the notice of the AGM. As approved by the members of last year's AGM, the 2024 audit was performed by Fiona Zhu and her team from Hilborn LLP. Fiona is online with us tonight in case the members have any questions for her directly. At this time, I'm pleased to provide an overview of the financial activity for Rising Oaks Early Learning for fiscal year 2024. 2024 budget approved by the Board of Directors in December 2023 projected a deficit of $55,000 after strategic investments in our programs and workforce compensation. Due to strong fiscal management, forecasts throughout the year were on track. However, we ended 2024 with a surplus of $425,000 due to an additional and unplanned funding received in December. Staying on budget throughout the year allowed us to apply additional funding received in December to cover our small deficit and spend on expansion costs for 2025. There we go. Total revenue for 2024 was $14.1 million. Childcare services revenue is up $1.1 million, 12% from last year. Note that CWOLC revenue replacement funding is included here so we can have an apples to apples comparison. The increase in funding is due in part to an increase in school age enrollment at several sites. Grants were down by $165,000 as there were no quality improvement grants in 2024. Next slide, please. On this graph, you can see a comparison of 2024 in blue to 2023 in green. 74% of revenue came from childcare services in 2024, compared with 73% in the prior year. Grants made up 17% this year, compared to 20% in 2023. They are down due to the region no longer offering quality improvement grants. Other income and provincial wage enhancements stayed about the same. Total expenses for 2024 were $13,675,000. Of this, total compensation accounted for 80% of our expenses, while food costs were up 8% due to inflation and increased school age enrollment. Program supplies were down 38% due to the grants received in 2023, but no longer available in 2024. So we spent a little less. Building expenses were up $75,000 over the prior year and account for 7.4% of total expenses. Advertising and branding was down slightly at 0.3% of expenses. Other expenses comprised of office, banking fees, EC membership fees, and more were 2% compared to 1% in 2023. We ended the year, as stated before, with a surplus of $425,000. The Board of Directors continues to work closely with management as the full impact of CWOLC continues to evolve. With the new funding model introduced this year in 2025, we will be focusing on reconciliations at the end of this fiscal to better understand the true impacts, risks, and opportunities. In February of 2025, the Board of Directors approved the 2025 budget with an operating surplus of $1,034,000. This surplus is due to an allocation of in lieu of surplus provided to childcare operators from the ministry. These funds will be earmarked to support future expansion to provide additional high-quality early learning programs for more children in our community.
Thank you, Julia. Before we move on, we would like to take a moment to officially introduce the full Board of Directors for 2025-2026. Our new board consists of Alex Zhou, Alicia Michaels, Bernie Crawford, Crystal Wu, Christiana Alcabiades, Cindy Ofane, Jessica Ronzio, Julia Bloom, Catherine Walsh, Nessia Martins, Robert McDonald, and Lori Prospero, serving in her capacity as CEO. The Rising Oaks Board of Directors is proud to represent the interests of the members and other stakeholders and to provide leadership for this great organization.
I think I see a raised hand. Just give me 1 second to check. Judy, your hand is raised. Did you want to share something? Oh, it just went away. Okay, no problem.
Okay. Congratulations once again to all of our new directors with a new board of directors elected for the next year, and our formal business is complete. I'd like to take a few minutes to recognize members of the board who have completed their terms this year. We're very privileged to have such dedicated board members, many of whom serve more than one term and have also worked with one or more of our committees. I'd like to invite Jessica Ronzio, the incoming chair of the board, to join me on this virtual stage.
Here, the board is pleased to induct Julia Bloom into the chair's circle of excellence this evening. Julia has been an engaged leader and a supportive mentor. Over the past 4 years, Julia has contributed to the creation of our strategic plan. Sorry about that. Supported diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, been a member of and chaired the governance committee, finance and audit, and the nominating committees. On behalf of the board, we are so pleased to bestow the honor on you this evening. Thank you, Julia, for your continued leadership. And on a personal note, Julia, it has been a pleasure to get to know you as a friend and as a colleague on the board. You have been influential not only in my development on the board, but also in personal and professional areas. So again, thank you and congratulations on this wonderful honor, Julia. We'll pause for a moment to give some congratulations. So on behalf of the board, we have an award and a plaque to recognize your contributions. I look forward to presenting these.
Thank you all, those joining live tonight or viewing the video recording, for being here to learn about our progress towards our strategic plan in 2024, as well as welcoming our new board of directors. Special thanks to our members for attending and exercising your member rights to vote. There being no further business, this annual general meeting is adjourned at 7:36 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for joining us and have a great evening.